Everything is a book about hope by Mark Manson. Guys, I'm telling you, this man writes on a different level. He's on another level psychologically. Very highly recommend this book. It's a top 10 book. Link will be in the comments, and we're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Also, I absolutely love this title. Classic. Very, very, very appealing, very provocative, and it's a great book. So let's get to it. He's got something very important. So what's the opposite of happiness? A lot of people think sadness, depression, anger, maybe. No, it's hopelessness. Hopelessness is the opposite of happiness. It's the feeling of emptiness and that things just won't get better. And it's the root of anxiety, mental illness, depression, and addiction. The avoidance of hopelessness is our mind's main project. So we create these hope narratives. We tell ourselves that something must matter. That's how we create meaning and purpose, that just something must matter, whatever it is. And then we have the paradox of progress. So our lives as a society are the best they've ever been, yet our hope is that it's lowest that it's ever been. Why is this? And to build and maintain hope, we need three things: a sense of control over our lives, a belief in the value of something, and a community. And if you lose one, you lose all three. So you have to have all three. And self-control is an illusion. Our feeling brain drives the car, and our thinking brain just justifies the route, right? We think that our thinking brain, our logical brain, is the one that's in control of the car, and our feeling brain is like, oh, maybe we should go over here. No, our feeling brain is the one that's steering, and then our thinking brain just kind of justifies our decisions afterwards. So this is because we are moved to action only by emotion. It's very important. And we have to learn how to balance the brain. So have your thinking brain work with your feeling brain, not have the feeling brain completely control the car, or you can't have the thinking brain telling the feeling brain every single direction. You have to kind of learn how to balance them out. And then this is funny. He made up a secondary world, or where there's Newton's laws of emotions, where Newton, he didn't make the laws of physics, he made the law of emotions. And for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. That's number one. Number two is our self-worth equals the sum of our emotions over time. And number three, your identity will stay your identity until a new experience acts against it. Absolutely love it. It was pretty hilarious when he was writing this. And then he also had a whole 6-step process for creating a religion and cult-like following. The first was sell hope to the hopeless. And I'm not going to go any deeper because this could very well be used for evil. Religion was believed in back in the day because our lives were horrible, right? So an average person's whole life had the same amount of progress that ours do every 6 months. Religion gave them hope for a better afterlife. And there's 3 ways that we go through thinking. Child thinks just on pleasure and pain. An adolescent goes through the principle and then through pleasure and pain. So it's transactional. It's an if-then thinking. And then adult thinking is just based on principle and virtue. So there's an ice cream example. A tub of ice cream, your mom's tub of ice cream in the freezer. Child thinks, I like ice cream, I'm going to eat the whole tub. Simply pleasure. It's going to give me pleasure, I'm going to do it. An adolescent thinks, if I eat this whole tub of ice cream, then my mom won't be happy because it's hers, I'm stealing it. She likes ice cream too. So it's a transactional, it's an if-then. And then the adult just thinks, I'm not going to eat that tub of ice cream because it's my mom's, and that's wrong to eat the whole thing in one sitting. So the only things in life that are achieved of real value are achieved without conditions and transactions. So you got to get up to that adult level thinking. And the Formula of Humanity by Immanuel Kant, he was extremely regimented. So this is very interesting. So act that you use humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, always at the same time as an end, never merely as a means. So this is kind of a confusing quote, but he's just saying, always act with every action you do, only do it because it's the ends, not a means to an ends. So don't take the job because you want money and that will make you happy. Take the job because you want the job. So always treat everything and everyone as an end. It's not a means to an end. So don't use people to get what you want. Just, interact with people because you want to interact with those people. And Mark's example was, getting his wife ice cream is a means to her happiness. So that's fine. But if her happiness is a means to having sex, that's not so good. And treating this ice cream as a means to another end is the basis of all wrong behavior, right? So just think about that. And living like this, living as everything as an ends, it pulls people out of the adolescent bargaining and into adult virtue. Because if you're always living as if something is a means to another ends, you're living in a transactional state where, if I do this, then I'll get this, right? So live by adult virtue. And the problem with hope is that it's transactional. And to transcend it, one must act unconditionally, right? So love someone without expecting anything in return. Do the job because you like doing the job. Don't expect for this huge sum of money, right? Don't hope for a better life. Just be a better life. And then, the means are things we do conditionally, and the ends are things that are desired for its own sake. When we pursue a life of pleasure and simple satisfaction, we are treating ourselves as a means to a pleasurable ends. This is golden right here. I really want you guys to ponder this. So if you're just focused on pleasure, I want that cookie, I want that brownie, I need this, I need that, I need that. You're treating yourself as a means to an end, which is simply the worst thing that you can do. It's gross. So, and this is how you truly, truly change the world. Pursue personal growth and maturity just for its own sake. And it'll have a ripple effect on everyone else. Because once you're honest with yourself, you'll be more honest with everyone else, and then they'll be more honest with everybody else, and it just goes on and on and on. We're having a maturity crisis. Politicians, by their nature, are power hungry, which forces them to be transactional. And the maturity of our culture is deteriorating quickly. It's a crisis of character and means to an ends. It's a fundamental schism of maturity versus immaturity. And there's a study on people's happiness. So they asked people how happy they are from 1 to 10, random times during the day. Everyone always said 7. So after extreme events, either really great ones or really, really crappy ones, it would peak up to 10 or dip down to 1. Then soon enough, it would just go back to 7. So this means that we live in a mildly satisfied state. And it's like, yeah, I'm living pretty good, but if I had this, then my life would be awesome. That's transactional. So you're still thinking on the adolescent level. You're not into the adult virtues yet. And pain is the universal constant of the human condition because we can't get rid of it. And pursue anti-fragility. This is a cool concept because this type of system gains from stressors and external pressures. So being anti-fragile means, you're learning, you're working out, and you don't break under these circumstances, because when we avoid pain, we become fragile and we can't handle it at all. So continually putting yourselves through, breaking yourself little by little every day, it makes you anti-fragile. So when bigger things happen, then you don't break. You're used to being broken every single day. The pursuit of happiness plunges us headfirst towards childishness, an incessant desire for something more. It's a thirst that can never be quenched, and it's the root of addiction and self-destruction. All you Will Smith fans out there, that's what the pursuit of happiness truly brings. The pursuit of pain is what makes life feel meaningful because we get to choose what pain we bring into our lives. We deny ourselves the ability to feel pain for a purpose, or when we deny to ourselves to feel the ability to feel pain for a purpose, we deny ourselves the ability to feel any purpose in our life at all. Really think about this. Really think about bringing some pain into your life. It really will create meaning. I guarantee it. Edward Bernays, he was actually the nephew of Sigmund Freud. He's the father of marketing as we know it. And despite conventional wisdom back in the 1920s, he knew that people were irrational, impulsive, and acted on their insecure feelings, partly because of his uncle's psychology work. So he marketed to that. And 2 ways to create value in the marketplace: innovation. So you upgrade people's pains through medicines, stuff like this. You don't have to walk two hours to the grocery store anymore. We can drive. That upgrades our pain a little bit. It's not as painful. Then we have diversions. So these completely avoid the pain. We got like drugs, partying, weekend trips. These become very bad because they're addictive. Innovations happen until we're comfortable in life. And then the diversions start to happen because, you can't really innovate anymore because we don't have any pain. And the diversions happen and a psychological fragility ensues because, technology companies just say, we're giving people what they want. But what people want is diversions that end up making their lives worse. And this results in fake freedom. So fake freedom results in people being increasingly fragile because we never have to experience any negatives, right? That one tiny negative is world crushing. Getting your package in 3 days instead of 2 is just so angering. And it's like, why? It's fake freedom. And fake freedom results in low-level addictive behaviors. Compulsively checking our devices. If you do this, you're enslaved by your phone. So that sucks. The inability to seek out negative experiences. If you're only happy when life is easy, then you're dependent on external sources to provide happiness, and you're enslaved by external things. Happiness got to come from within. True freedom has to come from within, right? And then fake freedom also represents in the paradox of choice. More choices we have, the more likely we regret our choice because one of them had to be better, right? If you have 40 different options, choose one, you're mildly satisfied with it. Surely one of them had to be better. But if you had one choice, you're satisfied with it, you're probably happy with your choice. Love this. Real freedom comes through limitation. It's not choosing everything you want in life, but rather choosing what you will give up in life. That's what creates freedom. And North Koreans are not free because they can't choose their pleasures, but because they can't choose their own pain. Very, very interesting. Pain versus pleasure. Choose pain. I'm telling you, it'll create more meaning in life. And he had some interesting views on AIs. It'll be nice to us because assuming that it's smarter than us, it'll have more emotional intelligence than us, so it won't kill us. And yeah, I'm not going to spoil the ending because he has very interesting views on what AI will bring. But I'm not going to tell you because I don't want to spoil the ending. I really want you to get this book. Blow your brains out. I'm telling you. That's it for this one, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around. I know this is a long one. Like this video, subscribe to the channel. Have a great day. Keep learning. Keep growing.
So lifelong learning and reading books is just one part of Sticky Habits University and Discipline 101. Imagine kicking all your bad habits to the curb, and imagine how successful you'd feel after implementing 10 new healthy habits. After enrolling in Discipline 101, my new course, that's how you'll feel every single day. Living like this changed my life. Go check it out.